Welcome to the Garden in the Kitchen cooking show. I am Chef Silvia.
And I'm Anne Buckley.
And today we are in the garden filming a very special episode, and it's all about tea.
It's all about tea. Very British. Thank you for doing this, Silvia.
You're very welcome. I am a huge tea lover. I sip on tea every day, and today we're going to be talking about two of my favorite teas. We're going to sip on these teas and talk about the benefits, and they are lemon balm and mint. That was just a lovely walk in the garden, wouldn't you say?
It was amazing, and we've got the perfect day for it today, haven't we,
Yes,
Silvia?
we do. And we have harvested our two herbs that we're going to be sipping as tea today. And here is the mint and lemon balm. They're very similar. Mm-hmm. And this is peppermint and lemon balm. Okay. And we're just gonna talk about a little bit about each one of them. These are the most, the teas that I sip the most on my everyday life, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Okay. I use tea as a medicine. I use my herbs and my tea as a form of medicine. As you can see here, I've got a couple of books that I am constantly reading and trying to learn, because I do believe that in nature we do find a lot of the remedies for daily ailments and simple things. So let's start with the peppermint.
Okay.
Very popular. A lot of us use it for cooking as well.
Yes.
You can use the fresh leaves, the fresh peppermint, to make tea, or you can use it dry. So when you buy peppermint tea, it comes in a little bag. That's your dried herbs.
Okay. You
can dry it at home. I have here an example of a mint that I have been drying for about a week and a half at this point. And the leaves are full at this point. But when I'm ready to turn it into tea, I'll just crinkle them up. So they're dry enough, so you notice that if you crinkle them up, they turn into like little bits. And eventually I will fill up my jar. Mm-hmm. And obviously the dry mint will last a lot longer than our fresh mint. So that's one of the reasons why it's a good idea to dry it. Also at the end of the season, before frost, then you want to remove all of the mint from your garden, dry it, and save it in a jar for cooking, for tea, and so on.
So how long would you dry it for, Silvia? You said that's been going about a week and a half. When do you know that it's ready?
Right. So it depends on the environment. Mm-hmm. You want somewhere airy, somewhere bright, maybe gets a little bit of sunlight, right? Not a lot of moisture, just like a bright and airy location. Some people like to hang it upside down. That's perfectly fine. I personally don't have a great spot to hang them, so I just lay them out on a counter over a towel. Make sure you pat dry. And it took about a week and a half, a week and a half to get to this point. And you know when it's ready is when you can crinkle them up.
Okay.
So about 4 or 5 days ago, I tried and they weren't crinkling them up. They were dry, you can hear they're dry, but they weren't doing this. They weren't crinkling up.
They weren't breaking up.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So when that happens, you know it's fully dry and ready to be preserved in a jar.
And do you cover it?
No.
Or do you just leave it completely open to the air? So whatever air you have in the room that it's drying in? Okay, good.
No coverage.
No special treatments whatsoever?
Not at all.
Perfect.
So it would need the air and the sunlight. So you definitely don't want to cover. And I do want to mention this. I'm just starting out this jar. Actually, I just finished the jar. So I'm going to refill it again. Okay. And if you can see here, it says Mint, My Garden, 2001.
Wow.
So this little batch that I'm finishing up, it's 3 years old. Almost 3 years old. So it preserves really well, and as a matter of fact, you can smell it. It's still, fresh.
Still fragrant, yes.
Fragrant, fresh mint. So this is an excellent way to dry your mint for tea or cooking.
Okay.
However, in the summertime, I get to just make tea from fresh mint. and that's delicious too.
Good.
And
Okay.
that's what we're going to be sipping on right now.
Lovely.
I have peppermint tea, and as we sip on this, we'll talk about the benefits.
Lovely.
Okay.
Sounds great. I love the teapot. Being British, I'm all about the teapots and the cups and saucers.
I do love some teapots. I have like 5 of them.
Really?
Like,
Some
it's-
people collect them,
Yeah,
don't they?
yeah, they do, they do.
That one's very lovely.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I'm gonna-
So this is peppermint.
and you can smell it. It's
Yes.
subtle, but it's
Yes.
there.
And when you make peppermint tea, you don't want to, or actually, as a matter of fact, any tea, you don't want to add boiling water. You want to add hot water.
Okay.
Yes, so you want to you want the herb to slowly release the oils and the
Okay.
properties and not just burn it.
Not just go straight.
Right.
Okay.
So I have, for this setup here of
Yes.
loose leaf or fresh leaf, you need a teapot that will have a basket.
Yes.
So it doesn't mix with the water. So I'll put all my leaves in a basket, add hot water,
Yes.
let it sit for a few minutes, 5-10 minutes in. Then you have the perfect cup of tea.
Yes, it is.
Did
It's
you enjoy it?
lovely. I do enjoy it. Yes. Thank you.
It's delicious. So back to the benefits of peppermint tea. It's a very well digestive herb. So this is my go-to after dinner,
Yes.
maybe after a heavy meal or something that didn't quite agree with me.
Right.
This is my go-to. It relaxes the muscles in the
Okay.
stomach, and it relieves cramps and bloating, gas. So it provides that kind of digestive
Lots
release.
of digestive benefits.
Yes, absolutely. So this is my my go-to after a meal. Okay.
Lovely.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's
Okay, I need
very
another sip.
nice. Yeah. So this is interesting, you telling me about the boiling water, because we would always boil the water in England and then pour it onto the tea. Is that just because we're using fresh herbs, or is that something that you would advise for any teas?
Any tea.
Interesting.
Yeah. In fact, it has happened with me and people I know numerous of times. If you put really boiling water
Yes.
on a tea bag, it will disintegrate. It will like
Right.
break up the bag.
Okay.
You will rip the cord. It's just too hot.
Right.
So
I think it's a time issue a lot of the time, because the hotter it is, the quicker it will steep. So it will brew that much faster. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
when you're in a hurry, you boil, in my house, a kettle.
sure. Yeah.
So you boil a kettle and then you pour on your boiling
Yeah.
water, job done, off you go.
And there's no harm with that.
Right.
It's just that if you really want to preserve the benefits and if you want to enjoy
Okay.
this cup of tea for the benefits that it has
Yes.
to offer, you want a hot water, not
Yes.
boiling water.
Okay, so especially
make
with the
sense?
loose leaf, it makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
Another
Yeah.
tip I can offer too is for when you're using fresh leaves, when you ready to put it in a teapot, try to crinkle them up too. I'm not finding the right words.
Agitate them.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so that it releases the oils and it releases the oils a little faster. Even you can tell, like, if you just take some leaves here and then you just agitate a little bit and then you just smell the tip of your
Yes,
fingers. You
yes.
smell that lovely fragrance. So you want to do that with the tea as well.
I can smell it from here. It's really
Yes.
pungent now.
Yeah. To kind of like make
Yes.
things work a little faster.
Good.
Since you've mentioned like
The
not a
speed.
lot of time, just speed up,
Yeah.
speed things
But
up.
it's good to slow things
Yeah.
down. Like a cup of
Yes.
tea should be enjoyed.
Should be
especially
enjoyed.
in a garden like this.
I
So that's
agree.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
If you're speeding things up, I think that's the wrong way to go about
Exactly. Yeah.
already. But
Yeah.
I'll have to say it is hard to slow things down. Slow things down. It's just we
Yes.
just live in this very fast-paced
Yeah.
life, and it's just hard to slow things down. Slow things down, but it's a good idea to be mindful of that,
Yes.
especially during the summer because it's just such a lovely season and it's so short for us.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So now we're gonna
Tell me
move
about
on
the lemon.
to try the lemon balm. The lemon balm is maybe my very favorite cup
Okay.
of tea, actually. This is lemon balm is known to be a relaxing herb.
Okay.
So think about when you're feeling anxious, when your heart is beating fast, when you're feeling mild depression, when you can't sleep, you are agitated, but it's not due to health reasons. It's only if it's due to nervous system.
Right.
So, so that's the difference. People sometimes don't understand. It's not so, you know, the anxiety and depression that it relieves. It's only if it's related to the nervous system, and not other health issues. I hope I can make it clear.
I understand. So if you have an underlying issue, this isn't going to fix that.
Correct.
But if you're feeling like if your automatic nervous system is responding to a situation that is happening in front of you, then this can help to calm you.
Yes, exactly. And it also helps with digestion as much as peppermint, but only if it relates to the nervous system.
Okay.
So if you're having digestive issues for any other health
right.
issues, that's not going to help, but only if it relates to the nervous system. So it's a great calming herb that you can sip before your bedtime to help you sleep, to calm down, to get a better night of sleep, calmer. If you are going through a little mild depression, this is the go-to herb, and I just love the taste.
It's very, very flavorful.
Yeah, they're all kind of lemony. They lemon balm, lemon verbena, which is also very similar in properties. They have a lemony scent.
Okay.
So let's try it.
Okay.
Shall we?
Okay. Yes, please.
So I have a different teapot here, but it's the same idea. As you can see, there's a basket inside where I added the herbs, and you just let it steep.
Perfect. Yeah.
Nothing
messy. All taken care of in one little container.
Yes.
Yeah, within there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're very handy.
I like the colour as well. You can actually see the colour of it here.
Yes.
It's such a lovely pale yellow here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, you drink your tea however you like. Some people like to add a little bit of honey, sugar, milk. It's very popular. I have to drink my tea like plain.
Neat.
Always. Yes, always. I want to be able to taste the herb or the combination, which is something I do often too, like a combination of different herbs from the garden.
Okay.
So let's sip on this one and
taste
see
this
what
one.
do you think.
Thank you. Oh, the smell. Straight
See,
away.
Yeah. It's very lovely.
Oh, that is nice. That feels cleansing.
And it's mild. It's
very mild. It's not bitter. It's not too tart. Yeah,
Correct.
Very nice.
Very mild, very relaxing. I think when I talk to people about tea in general, they just say, "Oh, I don't like the taste. It's just that's when I'm sick." They associate, "Oh, I only drink tea." I was actually asking a family member who is really close to her 100th birthday.
Wow.
And she's doing amazing. But I asked her, "Do you drink tea?" And she's like, "Oh, only when I'm sick."
Right.
You know, a lot of people will give me this answer, which I can understand. It is medicinal after all.
Right. Yes.
But I think a lot of people associate with a bad taste.
Right.
And it doesn't have
because
to be.
they've been conditioned by the mass-produced tea bags that are available in stores. Yes.
Yes.
Rather than going back and doing it the natural way. And
yeah. And you know, since you've mentioned the store bags, store tea bags, you do have to also, just like with any other food item, you want to be able to pick clean labels.
Yes.
A lot of the mass-produced tea have fillings in them that's really not beneficial.
Okay.
So instead of getting a cup of peppermint tea, you're getting all of these other unnecessary things just for filling that you don't need to. So just like any other food item, just read the labels, pay attention what you're buying, you know, make sure it's something that is really good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or, you know, just if you can grow some herbs, it doesn't take a lot of space.
So the mint grows very easily, doesn't it? So we have some mint in our, and it kind of, it can take over. So I know that we were talking about that in the garden. We'll talk about how we were talking about how it's like contained and how you manage that. So
yes,
that's
exactly.
helpful to know. Yes.
Yeah, you do have to try to control a little bit because it will take over your entire garden. And it's like the first thing that comes in the spring, so it's actually nice. Everything's frozen, the ground is frozen, but then the mint is already showing up.
Yes.
It's nice.
So just show us again the leaves between the lemon balm and the mint, because they are so similar, and I don't think I'd realised exactly how closely related they are.
They are very,
Those
very
leaves
similar.
are almost identical.
Yes, they are. I think even the scent, because it's lemony,
Right.
it can be similar. Also, mint has so many varieties.
Okay.
So many varieties. A couple of years ago, I actually grew chocolate mint, and let me tell you, it tasted like chocolate.
That's impressive.
I've tried some pineapple mint,
Really?
and apple mint, and chocolate mint, and it's like you
So
really
many
can taste
varieties.
so many varieties. But I try to stick with the spearmint, peppermint, you know, the
Yes.
most common varieties, and the lemon balm.
Amazing.
Yes,
Lovely. Well, thank you for sharing the mint and the lemon balm with me today, Silvia. They were delicious.
You're very welcome. I'm so glad we could do this show in the garden. It's a beautiful day, and
The wildlife is joining us.
yes, it is. That's part of
And being outside.
part of the joy. Yes,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes, it's
They're all
wonderful to be
welcome.
outside. Yes, exactly.
And thank you so much for watching this episode of the Garden in the Kitchen Cooking Show. I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a question in a comment, and I will get back to you.